Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is an eating pattern that switches between periods of fasting and periods of eating. It's not about what food you're eating, but more so about when you eat. Some fasting methods suggest undergoing 16-hour fasts twice per week, but other methods depend, as it's up to anyone to decide how long they wish to fast. Intermittent fasting is commonly used in many religions as a form of sacrifice, such as Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and many other faiths. The 5-2 diet is a common form of intermittent fasting, which involves eating as you normally would with no restrictions for 5 days, and then reducing your calorie intake to a quarter of your daily needs, which is about 500 calories for women and 600 for men. The idea behind this diet is that individuals will lose weight and improve metabolic health. By the way, it should go without saying, but you should obviously consult with a doctor before starting any of the diets mentioned in this video. The Alkaline Diet. This diet is based on the idea that certain foods can negatively affect the acidity levels of your body. Proponents of the Alkaline Diet prefer eating foods that are alkaline forming instead of acid forming, so that they can secure optimal health and prevent certain diseases such as cancer. This means instead of consuming meat, dairy, alcohol, and grains, they are consuming fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. While this diet reduces processed food intake, promotes hydration, and may improve digestive health, some scientists worry about the possible nutritional deficiencies that one may experience going on this diet, as well as the lack of scientific evidence supporting this plan. The Anti-Inflammatory Diet. Many experts have linked low-grade or chronic inflammation with heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and other harmful medical conditions. Because of this, anti-inflammatory dietists encourage the consumption of fresh produce, plant proteins, oily fish, whole grains, nuts, and spices. Highly processed foods like sugary snacks and food high in trans fats are to be avoided. It's important to note that this diet is not a strict set of rules to follow. Rather, it's more of a guide on how to better select what foods you should eat and how to eat mindfully. The Atkins Diet. Although this diet was created in the 1960s, it became very popular in the early 2000s, and it basically claims that you can eat as much protein and fat as you want and still lose weight, as long as you avoid high-carb foods. It encourages protein-rich foods like meat, fish, eggs, and cheese with a lot of olive oil, avocados, and nuts. But it discourages grain, starchy vegetables, fruits, and sugar. The benefits of this diet is the rapid initial weight loss you may experience due to the loss of water and a reduced calorie intake, as well as a generally reduced appetite. However, many people on this diet experience a negative reaction called low-carb flu, which causes feelings of fatigue, dizziness, and constipation, commonly caused by nutrition deficiencies. Many people also find that this diet is difficult to keep up long term. The Blood Type Diet. The Blood Type Diet suggests that you should eat certain food based on your blood type. Type O's must eat foods high on protein and go light on grains and dairy. Type A's should avoid meat altogether and instead eat nuts, grains, fruits, and vegetables. Type B's should focus on green vegetables, eggs, and low-fat dairy while avoiding corn, wheat, and peanuts. Type ABs are told to combine Type A and B's diet, eating a variety of fruits, vegetables, grains, dairy, and meat. The idea behind this diet is that eating the correct foods that correspond to your blood type will help you lose weight and have more energy. However, the lack of scientific evidence that supports this structure brings concerns, and many people don't like how overly restrictive this diet is. The Celery Juice Diet. Social media and health influencers love this one. In order to improve overall health, the celery diet involves consuming celery juice in large quantities, typically on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, in order to improve overall health. Proponents argue that celery juice helps with detoxification, producing clearer skin, and increasing energy levels. However, while celery is undeniably healthy and full of rich vitamins and minerals, there isn't much scientific evidence that supports the additional claims made here, and proponents of this diet are often way too reliant on celery juice alone to carry them throughout their day. The CSIRO Flexi Diet. This weight loss program was developed by the Australian government, and it actually includes 3 types of days with increasing levels of freedom and flexibility. On control days, individuals aim to consume a set number of calories, with the emphasis being on portion control and choosing nutrient-dense foods. Women should consume 1,200 to 1,500 calories on these days, and men should consume 1,600 to 2,000. On classic days, the calorie intake intake increases to 1,500 to 1,800 calories for women and 2,000 to 2,500 for men, allowing for more flexibility in food choices and portion sizes compared to control days, while still promoting weight loss and healthy food eating habits. Flexi days have the most amount of freedom, even allowing snacks and food that aren't traditionally included in meal plans, reminding the individuals that they are allowed to indulge while on a diet as long as they maintain overall balance and progress towards their weight goals. The Diabetic Diet. This diet is focused on helping you control blood sugar levels. You're encouraged to eat foods that are low in fat and calories, but naturally rich in nutrients, while avoiding all sugars and sweets. The Diabetic Diet is not a one-size-fits-all diet. It is heavily tailored to a specific individual's needs, and it is essential for people who suffer from diabetes to work closely with their doctor or dietitian on a plan. The Dairy-Free Diet. This diet is not uncommon for children or people with dairy allergies or lactose intolerance, lactose being the sugar found in milk. A dairy-free diet is self-explanatory. It removes all foods derived from milk, including cheese, yogurt, butter, cream, and ice cream. Not everyone who's on a dairy-free diet does it because of an allergy, however, as some people find this diet beneficial for relieving digestive issues, improving skin health, and some even avoid dairy based on various ethical and environmental reasons. The DASH diet. This diet is designed to help people prevent or manage high blood pressure levels, placing a strong emphasis on protein size and encouraging you to eat foods rich in nutrients like seafoods, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, while limiting sodium intake and highly processed foods like canned soups, sauces, and condiments. The Elimination Diet. The Elimination Diet is often used by people so that they can figure out if they have a specific food allergy or any sort of negative reaction to certain foods. The process has people avoiding certain foods for weeks, but then slowly reintroducing them one by one so that they can identify which protein produces a reaction to their body. This is typically used to diagnose gluten, wheat, or dairy allergies. The FEP Diet. The FEP Diet stands for Fasting Mimicking Eating Plan, and it's a dietary approach designed to mimic the effect of fasting on the body while still providing the same food intake. There are 4 steps to this diet, the first one being the preparation phase, where you only eat plant-based foods. Then there is the fasting phase, where you only consume around 800 to 1100 calories per day for about 3 to 5 days. After this, there is the refeeding phase, where you slowly but gradually return to a regular diet again over the course of several days to a week. Finally, there is the maintenance phase, where at this point you fully return to a regular eating pattern, but you're still incorporating the lessons you learned from the FEP diet, such as choosing healthier food options and being mindful of your portion size. The gluten-free diet. The gluten-free diet is typically for people who have an allergic reaction to gluten, which is the protein found in wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Many people who are allergic to gluten have a form of the allergy called celiac disease, causing extreme negative reactions if the person consumes or even just comes into close contact with gluten. Foods to avoid are obviously bread, as well as pasta, cereal, baked goods, beer, and many processed foods. However, there are many gluten-free alternatives to these meals. Cross-contamination is a big problem for people who are on this diet, as gluten-free foods can come into contact with gluten-containing foods, causing the meals to become contaminated and potentially unsafe to eat for anyone with the allergy. Of course, not everyone who has an allergy is on a gluten-free diet, as some people argue that the diet undoubtedly has health benefits and assists in weight loss and improved digestion, but there is limited scientific evidence for these claims. The Keto Diet. This diet is another one that has gained a lot of attention over the years. The Keto Diet is a high-fat, low-carb eating plan designed to induce a state of ketosis in the body. In ketosis, the body shifts from using glucose as its primary source of energy to using ketones, which are produced from burning fats, making weight loss easier. On top of this, when your body uses ketones instead of glucose, many people report experiencing more stable energy levels and appetite, as well as less mental stress. The body also reduces blood sugar and insulin levels. The keto diet consists of meat, fish, eggs, cheese, nuts, seeds, oils, low-carb vegetables, fruits, and sugars. It heavily restricts carbs, only allowing 20 to 50 grams a day. That being said, some people who are just starting this diet or following it without the guidance of a professional report experiencing keto flu, which can include fatigue, fatigue, headaches, nausea, dizziness, constipation, and in extreme cases, even kidney stones. It is also not recommended for pregnant women or women that are breastfeeding. The Locavore Diet. This diet calls for you to only eat foods that are locally produced in your area. People go on this diet to support local farmers and businesses, and also reduce the harmful environmental impacts that are associated with food transportation, packaging, and processing. In addition, this diet helps people develop a deeper connection with their local community and the foods that they eat, as seasonal eating causes natural diversity in their meals. The low cholesterol diet. A low cholesterol diet is pretty self-explanatory, as it aims to reduce levels of cholesterol in the blood, specifically low-density lipoprotein or bad cholesterol. In order to lower the risks of heart disease and other cardiovascular conditions, this means less trans fats and more healthier fats from olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish like salmon and mackerel. This diet promotes more plant-based foods and lean protein sources like fish, tofu, and beans, and discourages egg yolks, organ meats, and shellfish. It's also important to be mindful of portion sizes, and it encourages regular physical activity and exercise in addition to the food choices. The low FODMAP diet. This diet is typically for people who suffer from irritable bowel syndrome, and it is designed to combat FODMAPs, which are carbs that are not fully digested that produce bloating, gas, abdominal pain, and diarrhea for many individuals. These come from foods like apples, cauliflower, and honey. The low GI diet. Have you ever gone out to eat and noticed that the food you consumed just didn't keep you full for very long? A low GI diet, which was originally designed for people with diabetes, has people avoiding foods like beverages, white bread, white rice, processed snacks, and any food that causes a rapid spike in blood sugar levels followed by a rapid drop, creating the rapid fluctuations in energy and hunger levels that people experience very often. A low GI diet features balanced meals, regular eating patterns, and monitored portion sizes. The low sodium diet. High sodium intake from salt and processed foods can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and strokes. A low sodium diet promotes herbs, spices, citrus juice, garlic, vinegar, onions, and other flavors instead of relying on salt for seasoning. Purchasing fresh organic foods and cooking at home is also typical for people who are on this diet because it allows for much easier control on how much sodium and other unhealthy ingredients are being shoved into your meals. Hidden sources of sodium can come from salad dressings, marinades, canned vegetables, cheese, bread, breakfast cereals, and snacks. The Macrobiotic Diet. This diet comes from Zen Buddhism and other traditional Asian philosophies and practices, and the idea here is to balance the yin and yang elements of food, meaning that there should be a balance of grains, vegetables, legumes, and minimal amounts of meat and other animal-produced or processed foods. Much like the Locavore Diet, it promotes locally produced foods that are in season. Meals are typically prepared using simple cooking methods such as steaming, boiling, or lightly sautéing. Cooking oils and seasonings are used sparingly, as this diet promotes an emphasis on natural flavor instead. Mindful eating is also heavily encouraged, paying close attention to the quality and texture of the food, as well as the act of eating itself. Overstimulating food like extremely spicy or extremely sweet foods are not allowed. The Macrobiotic Diet goes beyond a traditional diet, as many people who are on it also do yoga or Tai Chi, and practice general mindfulness and frequent meditation. The Mediterranean Diet. Many people love this diet. In fact, it's frequently called the best diet in the world. It's a way to promote positive thinking through enjoying eating, rather than focusing on restrictions or sacrifice. Inspired by the traditional eating habits of countries like Greece, Italy, or even Spain, the idea is to eat an abundance of plant-based foods like fruits, vegetables, and grains, because these foods are rich in vitamins, minerals, fibers, and antioxidants. Olive oil is the primary source of fat, and it's used for cooking, dressing salads, and flavoring dishes. Moderate consumption of fish and poultry are also a regular part of this diet, including salmon, sardines, tuna, chicken, and turkey, with red meat being consumed far less frequently. Dairy is a big part of this diet, such as cheese and yogurt, with Greek yogurt being a popular choice for its high protein content and probiotic benefits. Red wine is also a popular item for its heart protective effects, and it's typically consumed with meals. Herbs and spices are also used in favor of salt. And finally, a big part of the Mediterranean diet is the social and cultural aspect that it celebrates, as it emphasizes enjoying meals with family and friends, savoring food slowly, and taking time to appreciate the dining experience. The Mind Diet. The Mind Diet is a combination of the Mediterranean and DASH diets, and it aims to reduce dementia and protect brain health. While focusing on plant plant-based foods, whole grains, healthy fats, and a moderate consumption of animal products, berries such as blueberries and strawberries are highlighted as a key component in the MIND diet due to their high levels of antioxidants, which have been shown to improve cognitive function and protect against age-related mental decline. Red wine is also surprisingly shown to have neuroprotective effects because it contains resveratrol. The Nordic Diet. Inspired by the traditional eating habits of Nordic countries such as Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden, it emphasizes consuming foods that are locally sourced and seasoned. This means a lot of fish, particularly fatty fish like salmon, herring, mackerel, and trout, which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and improve heart health and cognitive function. Like the MIND diet, berries are also a part of this diet, including blueberries, cloudberries, and lingonberries. Root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, turnips, and beets are heavily nutritional sources, along with canola oil. White meat and game meat are a part of this diet as well, but they are consumed in smaller quantities, served in mixed dishes where they are not the main focus of the meal. The Paleo Diet. Also called the Caveman Diet, the mission statement proposed by the Paleo Diet is that the human body should eat the same diet as our hunter-gatherer ancestors, excluding all processed foods in the belief that they contribute to modern health issues. This means meat, fish, birds, roots, nuts, wild fruits, and vegetables are all on the menu. This diet calls for a high protein intake, limited carbs, healthy fats, and an emphasis on nutrition diversity, especially from colorful fruits and vegetables. This, in addition to regular physical activity and outdoor exercise, reflects on the active lifestyle of our ancestors. The Rainbow Diet. Rather than being a strict diet with a set of rules to follow, the Rainbow Diet is more of a concept that emphasizes consuming a wide variety of colorful fruits and vegetables, which all contain different vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that contribute to overall health and well-being. While this diet is undeniably a good suggestion, one should not become overly reliant on just foods and vegetables and ignore the other essential food groups. The Raw Diet. This diet is extremely controversial, as proponents of it are often mocked and ridiculed for what is considered a wildly unhealthy diet if you include raw meats. For most people who stick to vegan or vegetarian forms of this diet, they consume all foods in their natural state with minimal to no cooking or processing. Some raw food enthusiasts believe that heating foods above 118 degrees Fahrenheit can destroy beneficial nutrients and enzymes. While the majority of food consumed on this diet is plant-based, some raw food diets may include small amounts of raw animal product, like unpasteurized dairy, raw eggs, and raw fish, such as sushi. Advocates of this diet claim various health benefits, such as improved digestion, high energy levels, weight loss, clear skin, and reduced risk of chronic disease, although there is a limited amount of scientific evidence to support these claims. The raw meat diet, on the other hand, takes this approach to a whole new level, with individuals consuming raw muscle meat and organ meats. Advocates of this diet claim they enjoy improved dental health and overall vitality, although scientists point out the obvious risks of consuming harmful bacteria, suffering nutritional imbalance, and having upset digestion, along with many other concerns. The sugar-free diet. This diet varies in extremity, with the most extreme versions removing all foods that contain added sugars, including fruits, vegetables, peas, carrots, and parsnips. The vegan diet. The vegan diet is extremely common and well known, as it restricts all animal-derived foods and products including meat, poultry, fish, dairy, eggs, honey, and other products that come from animals. People adopt the vegan diet for a variety of reasons, ranging from preference, perceived health benefits, and even ethical concerns regarding the right to kill and eat animals, or the questionable practices that the meat industry engages in with their animals. Studies estimate around 4% of the US population are vegan. The vegetarian diet. Another popular diet is the vegetarian diet, which excludes the consumption of meat, poultry, and fish, but typically includes dairy, eggs, and other animal products. Around 5 to 6% of the US population is vegetarian. The Zone Diet. Developed by Dr. Barry Sears, the Zone Diet emphasizes balancing carbs, proteins, and fats in specific ratios in order to promote optimal health, with a prescription of 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fat for each meal and snack. This balance is intended to improve weight loss, stabilize blood sugar levels, control hunger, and regulate hormones. Meal timing is a big part of this diet, as it recommends balanced meals and snacks every few hours to prevent energy crashes.